if you are a music creator and you're trying to do something with your music and actually build a business or build an income, it's exhausting, right? There is so much to do. You not only do you have to make the music, but in some cases you have to promote the music, market the music, build a fan base, build an audience, that type of stuff. Or if you're in sync licensing like I am, you have to manage relationships with music libraries, make sure you're managing your projects, and I'm doing posting and social media things, right? All of that. So I have found a way to use AI and a virtual assistant that I hired from Upwork where I can do all of this and not have to break the bank, so I can free up my time to be creative and to make music, which is why I got into this in the first place. So I have a full-time job. I'm landing sync deals, and I'm going to tell you how I'm doing it, and hopefully some of these strategies will help you with your music business. All right, let's go. So weekly system overview. I work full-time, like I mentioned before. I land sync deals. My secret is systems and delegation. So recently, I've hired a virtual assistant on Upwork. It's a person from the Philippines. Right now, it's only $3 an hour, $15 a week, right? There are some considerations, as they work more for you, they would, you may want to set up the contract where they would get raises along the way. Maybe you increase their hours depending on how much work they're doing, but it's freed up so much of my time. I can't tell you how relieved I am when I sit down on the weekends to do the majority of my work and I'm like, oh, I don't have to do that. I don't have to do this. I can just get in the zone and create music and record videos like this, right? So after this video is recorded, I'm going to send it to my virtual assistant so she can upload it and she can chop it up into little bits and do schedule my posts and all of that kind of stuff. So, and I also use ChatGPT AI to handle a lot of the admin work, like drafting emails and things like that. So I'm going to go over it step by step. I'm not going to share my screen in this particular video and show you exactly how I do it. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to tell you what I'm doing in this video. These are all the things I'm doing. And then I'm going to have some follow-up videos that breaks down, one little part of that process. So you can peek behind the curtain, see how I'm doing it, and then decide if that's going to be part of your strategy or not. So email marketing. So I do have an email group. I get the majority from people that are interested in getting their music into TV and film. And also, my Beat store has brought in a lot of people as well to my email list. So I draft 3 sales emails a week in different categories, and I also do 1 newsletter. I set up an Asana board. My virtual assistant goes in every week. So in order to draft those emails, I go into ChatGPT. I've built my own custom GPT where and I built a mentor. This is going to be a whole other video, but I started with one chat. I said, hey, and I'll include, if you want to, like the AI prompts that I use for this, just put the word AI in the comments and I'll send that to you. But what I did was I asked it to create a mentor. I said, hey, you are an expert in sync licensing and coaching and building a social media presence and all of these types of things. And it kind of created this mentor to help me. That I actually vocally speak with every day to create strategy and plans. And then we have another, virtual person that's, fake person, I guess, named Autumn, who does helps me draft things and puts together emails. And in my custom GPTs, I have, I let them know exactly what type of voice to use, how long to make the emails, what to promote. And I give them, so they already know that. I don't even have to type that in every time. I can just be like, hey, draft a sales email based on what we discussed this week and use this as the call to action. It knows exactly what I want. And Autumn, the fake person, will draft it for me. So all I have to do is copy and paste those emails into Asana. And then my virtual assistant, her name's Sheena, she will go into system.io, which is a tool I use for emailing. Go in there and schedule them. Done. That's it. Hey, I want to create an email about this. I want to create an email about that. I want to create an email about this. To draft it up. I do have to proofread it, all that kind of stuff. And also, Sheena helps with the newsletter. So with my newsletter, I always ask artists. There's an artist profile where I ask them, we showcase a certain artist. They just fill out a form. They send me their information, a little picture. It's a nice little bio for them. I put it right at the top of the newsletter every time. So she goes into Google Forms, drags all that over, updates the email, and we send it. It's that easy. So I used to spend at least before AI, maybe an hour and a half a week doing that, and it's down to probably 10 minutes I'm spending with emails now. That's it. Like, now I can spend that hour and 20 minutes making music, getting my deliverables together for music libraries and all of that kind of stuff. So that's just the email part. Another thing that I do is music library outreach. So that part I do not outsource yet. I don't know if I ever will, because I'm building new relationships with people, right? I might have them help me draft the email, but I want to make sure. Actually, I just thought of this. I'm probably going to use Chat GPT to research their website, because it has a kind of a deep learning model that I can use where it will research their website, help me draft an email that calls out something to compliment them on, maybe one of their recent wins, that type of thing, so it can truly be personalized. But it's going to save me the time of looking through all their entire website, right? It will do it for me. I just thought of this. This is a great idea. I'm going to do this in an upcoming video. So if you want to watch how that can happen, just subscribe and follow me, and you'll see it happen. So, but I don't want to outsource the back and forth communication with them, because I want that to be a genuine human conversation. But to make that initial draft to pitch, so I can pitch to 5 music libraries per day, a lot easier, because to be honest, I have not been pitching that much. This is going to help. So I'm going to probably build that today. Another thing that I use ChatGPT and my virtual assistant for is content creation. So like this video I'm recording right now. So I help, it knows exactly how I like my scripts. Like right now I'm not reading, like I'm genuinely talking to you, but I do have some bullet points. So if you see me look down every once in a while, it's because I want to keep on track. I want to make sure that this video is as valuable as possible and packed with as much good information for you as possible. And I just want to make sure I stay on track and hit the points that I wanted to hit. So when I went into ChatGPT, and if you want this prompt, it's in my AI prompt guide. Just put the word AI in the comments, and I'll send it to you. But I said, hey, can you just put it in short bullet point form, just so I stay on track on what I want to talk about, and then put it into sections and make it about a 10 to 15 minute video. So it does that for me. I'm looking at it right now. I'm going to read to kind of what it says, right? I'm using AI to help write YouTube video scripts like the one we're doing now, sales emails. It drafts those for me. We already talked about those. And the descriptions for each video. I use another tool called vidIQ to help optimize those videos, but as far as ChatGPT, it does that for me. And for categories, like I rotate my content, so I'm using sync licensing tips, mindsets, my personal journey to go full-time. So if you don't know, I'm on a journey to leave my 9-to-5 job and do music full-time. Sync licensing is a big part of that. If you want to follow that, use the hashtag no9to5 by 2028, or just subscribe to this channel and you can see my progress as I go. Another category is FL Studio tutorials. So I share my tips and tricks on that. And then also maybe some product or AI reviews. I think I'm going to create an entire section just for AI, and I'm going to try to post on that every week. Because if you're not leveraging AI and you're trying to build any kind of business, or if you're trying to do anything, even if you're trying to have a job, you need to know AI. So I'm going to include that in my content as well. Social media automation. So I use a tool called Opus Clip. And I used to go in and upload the video and it would clip and then I would schedule it out. But I have my virtual assistant doing that for me now, adding the call to action links. Like in this video, I'm going to talk about Sync Producer Hub at the end. Spoiler alert. I do this in all my videos. It is an affiliate link. So if you do sign up, I do get, a part of your subscription that you pay. That's just another way to generate income. I'm going to post a whole other video on that. But she goes in, she adds my call to action link to the top of the description. It generates its own description. It chops it up into pieces, and then she schedules that out for the week. So previously, I was only doing my 2 videos to YouTube per week. Now I have all of these short form content videos that I don't have to do. All I have to do is share the link with Sheena, and she does it. So now I'm posting 28 times a week instead of only 2. So it's getting the word out there. It's going to increase the chances to generate some income from that, right? Community engagement. So if you do comment the word AI in the comments, I'm not the one going in and sending you that. It'll look like me, but I'm not actually the one sending you that link. It's going to be Sheena going in there kind of, representing me, and she's going to send you that link. And she might put a little phrase in there like, hey, here you go, or, thanks for watching, or there's that guide you wanted, something like that, right? But you're going to get that guide a lot faster because I'm busy. I don't have time to go into the comments and do that. So that's another way it's saving me time. I've also launched a new YouTube interview series in the Sync Producer Hub where we're going to be interviewing somebody from the community that is killing it in sync. We're going to pick their brain on all of the tips and tricks, right? So she's going to take that video. This starts this week, actually. I'm recording this on June 14th, and it's going to be tonight, the very first one. I'm super excited about launching this, but she's going to chop that video up into pieces and, show the parts of our interview that are the most valuable. So that's going to be part of the social media strategy as well. So why does all of this work? It gets overwhelming to try to grow your music business. And if you are a musician, you're running your own business. Back in the day, there was like people were just really talented, and then maybe they could get a deal with a record label, and the record label handled everything. They handled marketing, they handled booking live shows, they building your audience, all of that kind of stuff. If you were an artist, right? Or if you were a producer, and maybe you signed a publishing deal with a record label and they helped you find artists to work with and that type of thing. Now we're doing it on our own. Like, record labels won't even look at people unless they have an audience, unless they're doing it themselves, right? And they just take your marketing and what you've built, and they amplify it, right? They use distribution and other channels to grow what you've already built. So if you're a music creator now and you want to be a success and make a little money from it, or a lot of money from it, you have to do everything. You have to do the marketing, build an audience, send emails, grow relationships. There's just so much to it. So it can feel overwhelming, and you'll spend a whole weekend just doing that type of stuff and not make any music. And if you're a musician like I am, if music is in your heart and music chose you and you have to do it, it hurts not to be able to do it because of all of these admin tasks and other things that you have to do to be successful. So that's why this works. Like, my virtual assistant saves me a good probably 4 to 5 hours a week, and I only have 15 hours a week to do what I need to do to make this happen. I'm sacrificing some of my family time to do this because I have a full-time job. So maybe I only spend 10 hours this week doing my music stuff and spend more time with my family. How valuable is that, right? And you're not going to feel burnt out, and you're going to up your production. So use AI and hire a virtual assistant. It's literally, I'm only spending $15 a week right now. Go to Upwork and do it. I'll post a video on exactly what I did and how I did it to help you. But I mean, recent results from all of this, like, I just landed a $3,000 deal with a Canadian music licensing company to do 10 tracks for them. So that's upfront sync fees, plus I'm going to get the writer's share of the royalties on the back end once it gets placed in a television show or whatever it is. This is the results of showing up consistently, and the best way to do that is to find other ways to get your tasks done faster, more efficiently, or have somebody else do them. It's a game changer. This is a game changer. So you can do this too, right? AI is not a threat. It's a tool that you can use to, edge out the competition and grow your music and grow your business. You need a system, you need a support structure, you need a real plan. That's why I'm also recommending the Sync Producer Hub. So this is run by Anthony Clint Jr. This person has been killing it in Sync for, I think he started in 2010-ish, something like that. I don't know if it was that long ago, but he has thousands of placements. He's put together some courses and guidance. He runs a weekly show where you can ask him questions live. He may listen to your music and give you feedback on that. We have a community of people that are killing it in Sync. There's a peer review type of section in there if you want to get your music heard and get some advice on how to make it better or how to make it better for Sync. We're doing interviews now. Like, it's every course that you need. There's courses on this. Everything I'm talking about right now, hiring a virtual assistant, using AI, that's in the courses and that's in the hub. I learned that from joining this organization, from joining this program. So if you are interested in getting your music into TV and film, put your link right there. Just say the word Sync in the comments, and Sheena will get back to you and give you that. Or if you don't want to wait, it's right there in the description as well. Just learn more about the Sync Producer Hub. So cool. That's all I have for you on this one. If you have any questions, let me know. You can drop those in the comments, and I will personally go in there because she's only doing the keyword stuff. So if you put AI or you put Sync in there, she's only doing that stuff. If you have a genuine question, I do monitor my own YouTube comments. I'm just trying to save people time so they get that resource sooner. But if you do have a questions, drop it in the comments, and I will go in and answer. I thank you for your time, and I'll see you in the next one.